Okay, so now we have been able to make x the subject of the formula, and from the two equations we're having, we've been able to use the first equation to make our x to be the subject of the formula. Now remember, from 3x plus 2y is equal to 42, we were able to get x is equal to 42 minus 2y over 3. Now we used equation 1 because there are two equations. We are looking for two unknowns here. We are looking for x and y. X and y. Okay. Now, from the first equation, that's 3x plus 2y is equal to 42, we've been able to get this simple substitution equation, which we are going to use later. X is equal to 42 minus 2y over 3. So now, for the next step that we're going to take, we are not going to use x. Rather, we are going to use 42 minus 2y over 3 as our x. Now, don't forget, we've been able, from the two equations that we were given, we've been able to use the first equation to bring out an equation that we can call a substitution equation, because we can now use some values to replace x. Now, we are going to use those values to replace x in the second equation. Please take note. The first equation is 3x plus 2y is equal to 42. That was the first equation we're given. Now, the second equation, we have 5x minus 4y is equal to 26. So now we are going to go straight to that second equation. That is 5x minus 4y is equal to 26. But guess what? We are now going to use x as 42 minus 2y over 3. Yes. X will no longer appear as x in that second equation, which is 5x minus 4y is equal to 26. Rather, x will now be 42 minus 2y over 3. X will now be what? 42 minus 2y over 3. X will no longer be x in equation 2. So, we're going to start with this statement. All right? First of all, you're going to make this simple statement. Substituting for x. Substituting for x in equation 2, we have substituting for x in equation 2, we have, now you're now having what? 5x minus 4y is equal to 26. Make sure you write that down. Now, you can now proceed to now replace the x in that equation by the value. That's the values that will now be replacing x now. So you're now going to be having 42 minus 2y over 3 as x. So now, for that linear equation, which is the second equation in this question, which is 5x minus 4y is equal to 26. We are now going to be having this 5 open brackets, 42 minus 2y over 3, close bracket. Then you now have your minus sign. You write your 4y, and then you have equal to 26. Simple. Yes. So what have we just done? What have we succeeded in doing? We've been able to substitute. In other words, we've been able to replace x in this equation. It's no longer 5x. Now it's now 5 open bracket 42 minus 2y over 3. 5 open bracket 42 minus 2y over 3. So 42 minus 2y over 3 is now replacing x. Okay. Now let's proceed now to break this down in its very simple form. All right. Okay. So from here now, you can now say your 5 will now multiply, but be careful as you're multiplying, as you have your numerator and your denominator, and what you're having as your numerator here are those simple numbers and letters. That's 42 minus 2y. That's your numerator, and the denominator of that fraction is 3. So when you are multiplying out, remember, your 5 is multiplying that fraction. Now, remember in mathematics, if you're having 3 times 2 over 3, you can multiply the numerator. That's 3 times 2, and then you get 6 over 3 before you now divide out. The same thing, you can have 4 times 1 over 2. You multiply 4 by 1 before you now divide by 2. So 4 times 1 will give you 4. You now divide the 4 by 2 to get 2, which is now your final answer. So what will you now do in this case? Don't get this wrong. You need to still use the same pattern in solving this question.